Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the podcast where I talk about what it's like to run an insurance agency. So we talk about things like staffing and retention and sales and marketing and all the good stuff that you need to know how to do really well if you want to succeed. Do me a favor, send me a text to 208-213-8809. I have updated this resource. Just text me the word free, and I'm going to give you a free resource of there are links to podcasts for insurance agencies, YouTube channels, free downloadable assets and resources. It's loaded. There's like 15 things on there right now. So just send me the word free to 208-213-8809. All right, today I wanted to talk about money. I wanted to talk about budgeting. I'm working with an agent, had a good conversation about budget, and I'm going to say some things that are going to sound like, no kidding, Dietz, but some of the stuff needs to be said. Budgeting is something that I didn't have a lot of experience with before running an agency, and I've always mentally kept it pretty simple. Make more than my expenses. The money that I choose to spend in my agency, make sure that it is working for me, that it's going towards something that's helping me make more money, okay? It's pretty simple. When I hire somebody, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth from them. So if I'm going to pay someone $3,000, $4,000 a month, I got to make sure they're driving enough premium. If I buy a marketing program, I got to make sure that that's driving money. I had a conversation with an agent recently who was like, hey, I've got some money to spend. We have this place where our company gives us some money and we can use it. It's like a 50-50 cost share, and you can use it in some things that are approved. And the things that are approved are things that I would never use. Okay. There's a billboard. There is radio advertising. You can buy internet leads. We all know how I feel about internet leads. There's some SEO in there. I mean, you can work with Yelp. It's a bunch of, there's a bunch of stuff in there. He's like, hey, where would you spend your money? And I was like, I don't do any of this. And the only thing I told him to try, I like to try things too, is I would tell him, I'm like, hey, there's something in there. There's a Google ad option in there. And I was like, you know what? That might be worth trying. I mean, everyone goes to Google. A lot of eyes are on Google, and that might be something to try. So that was the advice that I gave him. I bought a program many years ago. I spent $2,300 on just the base program. There was a monthly expense too going with it for me to work and court mortgage brokers to send me business. I worked it for about 18 months. I made my money back, and it kind of ran its course. I didn't enjoy working it anymore. I was essentially creating internet leads for mortgage brokers, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm doing what I hate. So I jettisoned out of that. But anytime I spend money, I'm thinking of how I can get my money back. I talked to another agent recently this week. He was like, hey, I've got somebody who wants to do a program with me. It's $2,000 a month. And I was like, all right, well, what does that mean? That's $33 a lead. And I was like, all right, well, how do we know if these leads are any good? We don't know. Do you want to spend $2,000 and gamble? Do you know anybody else that's using them that you can vet? And I said, or what else can you do with $2,000 that's going to get you a better return for your money? Like, this is the way I think about things. I would encourage you to take a look at your expenses for maybe the last 90 days, the last 6 months. Take a look at your expenses, pull up your bank account and go through it. See if there's anything in there that you forgot about. I once talked to a business owner, and he did this. He runs a bigger business than me, and he was like, I found 7 subscriptions for things that I had forgotten about, and it was like $1,000 a month. And so he got $1,000 a month raise because, well, he shouldn't have been doing it anyway. But anyway, there are things in there that you might not know about. Okay. Also, if there are subscription items in there that you are paying for, do you need them? Okay. There are some companies in there that have maybe slid their way through your radar, and you're like, I've got this thing that'll help you, make your agency more efficient and and it's slick and it's cool, but are you using it? Are you spending stuff that's like $100 a month, $150 a month, $250 a month, $299 a month, that's not getting you anything that you could replace and just do it manually like you did before you had that thing? Okay. There's a program out there where you can get loss runs automatically from clients, or you can get their current deck pages. And, I'm always looking for less friction in the process, the sales process. So I listened to them, and I didn't think I was going to create any less friction, because what it is you have to send an email over to them, and they have to populate the email with their username and their password to their current company. And so they're still doing all of that when you can write insurance without seeing their deck pages, right? Or they can email you your deck pages. It might be just as easy for them to go into their app, download their deck pages and email it over. I mean, why you spend $150 a month not freeing up any time or relieving any friction, okay? So I would just ask you to take a look at all these things that you've onboarded in your agency and be like, is this really worth it? Talk to an agent who's spending $500 a month to have somebody on call in case they have computer problems. I told them, this is a small agency. There's 3 people in there, probably 3 computers. And I told them to stop doing that because you could almost buy a new computer every month at that price. Okay. I spend $6,000 a year on something that you might not need it. And if something does happen to your computer during the year, you can call somebody in. You can a la carte that. So what else? Yeah. What are you overspending on? I think there's money there that you can find. And plus, the other thing too is if you get rid of one of these things and you miss it dearly, you can bring it back. In most cases, okay? You can bring it back. Hire the computer guy back. Okay, bring back that other program where it'll bring you deck pages. But this is the stuff that I like to tinker with, and this is why I run so lean. Okay, because there's a lot of stuff out there where you can waste your money on stuff that you really don't need. So anyway, just pay attention to what you're spending your money on, and get rid of some things that are extraneous that you don't use, that you don't need. Put that money, reinvest that money into something else. Whenever I save money, whenever I come across a program that I get rid of, and I'm like, all right, cool, I got $100 a month that I am not spending anymore. And I think, is there anything out there that I could onboard for $100 a month that would make my business run smoother, that will save us time, that could generate more business? There are a lot of things out there. Or just pocket it. Okay, there you go. That's what I got for you today. My name's Matt. This is Agency Launch. Do me a favor, send me a text, 208-213-8809. Send me the word free, and I'll send you a resource loaded with a bunch of free stuff. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.
Flying down the freeways, high above the airwaves, till I can roll